going to show you today the easiest way to get cable inside a pipe using a draw wire. But first, how do you get the draw wire in the pipe when it's a long run? I'm going to show you how to do that. Tools you're going to need is a Henry hoover, or a hoover that's got at least a good suction power, duct tape, fishing tackle line, 100 metres, preferably get more, or 2 reels, about £5 per reel, it's nothing, a small piece of sponge, a pair of scissors, and the rest I'll show you how to do it. This is our pipe, got a couple of them, and we're going all the way to the back of the field, which is approximately 50 metres in run. The pipe that I've got here is electrical duct solid, and it's 32mm internal diameter. Okay, the first thing we want to do is get our end of our hose of our Henry, or in my case Henrietta hoover. Get some duct tape first of all, so that you can seal the pipe to the end of the duct itself. Okay, got a small piece around it to get it in place, and then reseal it with a little bit more duct tape, just so it keeps it all in place. What you don't want is it coming apart or air coming out of it. Depending on the length of your pipe, it's going to depend on the suction required. I'm using an Emery. I'm sure you can use any hoover at all. Now that's that sorted out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my hoover on now, simply to dry out any moisture that's inside that pipe, because what we don't want is water or moisture inside the pipe, because eventually that could then create issues on your cable later. So it's nice to have a nice dry pipe inside. Right, whilst I'm waiting for that pipe to dry out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to now threadle the fishing tackle line with a small piece of sponge that I've cut to shape than the bore of the tube that it's going to go down, the ducting it's going down. I've got my fishing tackle line. I'm going to get a piece of fishing tackle and I'm going to put it through my needle. I'm doing this just so I can get a firm fixing onto my sponge. So here's my sponge, which I've cut down, that will fit neatly inside, but again, pair of scissors and you cut it through. And I'm going to take my thread through the sponge, just to allow me to get a firm fixing of it for when it's being pulled down. I'm going to push it back again. I might need to put a bit of full to in there. My sponge might be a little bit too thick, actually, long, but we'll see. Okay, I've got that. I'm going to knot it the other end, so it's literally pulling through, so when it comes to suck, it's like a bullet being pulled through the tube. Knot it at the other end. Bob's your uncle. So what I've got is my bullet connected to my fishing tackle line, and the rest is going to be very, very simple. I'm now going to take my reel and this, make sure you don't get it knotted like I'm doing, not paying attention. Keep the reel so you don't get no coils in it. Now I'm ready to go. So this is my pipe. So we've got suction on there. So again, the suction is not fantastic, it's what it is at the other end, and that's why we need to make sure that hole and our sponge, which is here, should be smaller. Clearly it's sucking it nicely. The hoover's running, it's pulling, so I'm going to let it go. So let's watch it go. That's it. That's gone. I'm now going to go to the other end. Okay, we're now back to the other end. Undo our duct tape. is my line. Right, we've got the nylon here. I'm not taping mine because I can't be bothered. I'm quite happy that it's going to go through, and that's going to fit in there. I've done a lasso that end, okay, and then I've double knife to that, put that in a little bit, so that's ready to go. There's no obstruction there, it's going to go through nice and easy, and I'm now going to go to the other end and slowly pull my cable through. So let's see what happens. But do it a straight line, it'll be easy. But again, look, this is so easy. I'm pulling it not very hard, and there's my cable. Bob's your uncle. Just so you can't pull it back through, because you don't want to be doing that. There we go. So that's it, as simple as that. That will take, without filming, to get the whole lot through less than 5 minutes. Yesterday, before working away how to do this, I spent all day trying to put rods down it, trying to put trunking lids down it, putting them together, putting a hose pipe down it. It just would not work. This was the only way that worked, and I can't believe how fast it is. 5 minutes, your containment is completely in. My cable's in, my rope's in there in the duct. Obviously I've now got to put it in a trench so that I can backfill it, and I'm going to pull the cables later. One thing very, very, very important, seal your duct. Okay, I've got my cable there, I've got a couple metres spare, and then I've sealed the ends, because this could be sitting around for a little bit before I start pulling cables in, and I do not want dirt, soil getting inside it, because that's going to hinder and possibly damage my cables when I pull them through. If I'm pulling data cables through, the data cables are going to be very delicate, and if that grabs a stone, then that's going to rip the sheathing. If it rips the sheathing, moisture could get inside of it, water, rust, etc. You've got a problem. You've got to start again. So please, please, please put some duct tape around the ends of them caps to seal it until all the dirty work's done, and then unseal it and then pull your cables through. Good luck, and I hope this is helpful.